Played between 2011 and 2020, 240 appearances for arguably the most famous of the Turkish clubs. Was assistant manager at Galatasaray as well in 2020 to 2022. So I'm sure he'll have fond memories as he returns to Rams Park, but this time he's looking to steal 3 points away from the league leaders. Throw-in taken by Kocaelispor. Ball over on this left-hand side with Joseph Nonj. He tries to play a ball in, but the whistle's gone, and a handball is the decision by today's referee. And it is the correct decision. It was Serdar Dursun who'd collected the ball off his right knee. It ricocheted up onto his lower arm, and that will be a free kick for Galatasaray just inside their own box. 5 minutes gone, the score remains 0-0, and it's played across the back line to Abdulkarim Bardaki, the captain, who will just look to edge forward for the team today, wearing their red and orange, the famous colours, the half and half shirt. And Galatasaray play the ball forward through Lucas Torreira. He finds Gabriel Sara, who turns and plays it back to his centre half, Abdulkarim Bardaki, who spreads the ball down the right hand side, brought down by the chest of Leroy Sane. Sane back inside to Torreira. Torreira looks across and finds İlkay Gündoğan, who passes back to Bardaki. And the patient build-up proving fruitful so far for Galatasaray, who are creating spaces, and they win the advantage here as Leroy Sane picks the ball up, beats his defender, who's all over the back of him, and Sane continues his run, plays it inside to Torreira. Torreira, chance to put a cross in, ball bundles out of play, and that will be a goal kick to Kocaelispor, but you can see the threat that Galatasaray pose. 66 goals scored this season, most in the league. They're imperious at home, unbeaten with 11 wins and 3 draws, most home points as well with 36, and they just look fearless. Their recent form, though, a little bit shaky. You look at that loss to Liverpool in the Champions League, 4-0 away at Anfield. They did beat them on home soil by a 0-0. But in that time, they beat Istanbul Basaksehir. They lost to Trabzonspor. They did have a red card in that one. And then they beat Göztepe away from home by 3-1. But Kocaelispor, well, they're the team with the ball at the moment on the centre circle. Here is Show. Plays it back to Hervoje Smolcic, who tries to drill one down the left-hand side. Picked off by Lucas Torreira, and Galatasaray can try and come away with it through İlkay Gündoğan. Gündoğan edges into opposition half. He's got an option to his left, goes there. That's Roland Shalai. And Shalai just slows play down and lets Barış Yılmaz get into position, the centre forward. Back across it goes, this time to Gabriel Sara, back out to Shalai. Shalai with a ball on his left boot, tries to find an opening to put the cross in, but has to go backwards to Ismail Jacobs, wearing the number 4. Jacobs, who spent last season on loan at Monaco, joined permanently in July from the team who play in the French league. Monaco, of course, its own country. Famous club down there, lovely stadium with the big arches. And Galatasaray win a throw-in on the left-hand side in the attacking third. Played backwards immediately to Torreira. Across to İlkay Gündoğan. Here's Bardaki, who finds Ismail Jacobs again. Flicked forward towards Leroy Sane, who's able to turn, goes to ground, and that will be a free kick to Galatasaray next to the corner flag. And a great opportunity to put a ball into the box despite the protests of the Kocaelispor players. It was Sasha Bowie who went to ground under contact. It was Rigoberto Rivas who just put a knee into the back of his leg. Down he went, as I say, 5 yards in from the corner flag. Great crossing chance. And after 9 minutes, it's Galatasaray 0, Kocaelispor 0. Crossing opportunity here for Gabriel Sara, who's got 3 assists so far this season in the league, 1 in the Champions League too. He's got one arm raised to the sky as he prepares to send this ball into the box. Left-footed cross in towards the goalkeeper, headed down by Gündoğan, but it rolls through. I think Jacobs might have got a final touch on it, and it's been given as a goal kick. And protests from the Aslanlar, the Lions as they're known in English. Galatasaray, you can see why there's protests. Hervoje Smolcic got a flick on it, to knock it out of play. Referee didn't see it, and Galatasaray, well, they were hard done by there, but they've won the ball back after the goal kick from Kocaelispor. But Kocaelispor step inside with Show to win that ball back. Over on the right hand side it is with Dan Aji. Back to Ahmet Ojuz, the captain, who threads the ball back to Serhat Oztazdelen, who pumps it long and straight out of play. He's gone down. He wants a free kick. It's not going to be given. It's Ahmet Ojuz who's holding the back of his calf under the tackle from İlkay Gündoğan, and actually that probably is a free kick. Gundogan's gone jumping in. He's noticed the ball's going to be flicked away. Ojuz, well, he's just back-heeled it almost out of harm's way, and Gundogan's gone leaping in, and the knees have clashed. Probably should have been a free kick. Instead it's a throw-in, which Galatasaray throw straight to the Kocaelispor goalkeeper. Sporting move, and Serhat Oztazdelen, he makes just his second start of the campaign, gets us back underway. Won back though high up the field by Barış Yılmaz, who had the opportunity to shoot, but all he could do was send it off a defender and out for the game's first corner kick, which will be taken on the far side, the left. It was a really poor clearance actually. Went all the way through to Ercan Çakır, the goalkeeper for Galatasaray, who lumped it long. Barış Yılmaz latched onto it, wandered into the box, had an effort which went out for the corner, which was played straight into the gloves of Serhat Oztazdelen, the Kocaelispor goalkeeper. Well, Kocaelispor back in the top division after 16 years away. They suffered financial trouble, which saw them fall all the way from the top flight to the amateur leagues, and they're pleased to be back. The team from Izmit, the industrial region, founded back in 1966. They celebrate their 60th year. Historic club, 2 times the winners of the Turkish Cup in 1997 and 2002. That their last real strong memory before financial turmoil, but it's so good to see them back, albeit they're struggling at the moment. 3 without a win in the league, just 1 win in their last 6 matches. But Galatasaray here yet to find the opening. 12 minutes in, it's 0-0, and the hosts have the ball on the left hand side with Ismail Jacobs. 62% possession for Galatasaray, who look to forge an opening here. Still the ball with Jacobs, who twists and turns and plays a ball to Roland Shalai in the channel. Back to Jacobs, crossing chance, ball inside to Barış Yılmaz, who can't get enough on it, and it rolls out of play for a goal kick. But once again, Yılmaz in the right place at the right time. He just couldn't quite finish, looking for his 8th of the season, and the ball into that channel of uncertainty. No one able to get a touch on it, and that is a goal kick. It's not, it's gone down as a corner, I think. No, goal kick it is. We're watching a replay of an earlier corner shout which was given as a goal kick. That one incorrect. This one was correct, and the goal kick taken long, flicked on towards Dan Aji, who can't bring it under control, and through it goes to the Galatasaray goalkeeper in his dark green strip today. Galatasaray shooting from left to right and giving the ball away, as Rigoberto Rivas able to come and collect on the right hand side for the visitors. He turns and plays the ball back to his goalkeeper Oztazdelen, Turkish international at under 21's age with 3 appearances, just 21 years of age, and he spreads the ball down the right hand side to Joseph Nonge. Nonge goes to ground, play will continue. The ball's knocked back to Mamadou Sissoko. Well, in England it was the EFL Trophy final today. Luton against Stockport. Well, last year Mamadou Sissoko, well, he came off the bench as Peterborough beat Birmingham City at Wembley Stadium. A cup win for him as he was on loan from this club. And today he's playing in the top division of Turkish football against one of Europe's most historic clubs. Former Man City youth as well, Mamadou Sissoko. There's a free kick's given away by İlkay Gündoğan, and Kocaelispor will have an opportunity very centrally, just outside the centre circle, some 45 yards from goal. And I'm sure they'll look to try and put this into a dangerous position. as Selçuk İnan, their manager, just has a word with our fourth official. Tries to get the game moving a bit quicker, I feel. His team very much in this one as it's played inside, flicked on. I think it was Habib Keita. It wasn't Keita, it was Dursun, the centre forward, who got the final touch, and out it goes for a goal kick for Galatasaray. Played straight out to Abdulkarim Badaki, the captain. Back to Çakir, who just edges towards the edge of his technical area and knocks the ball forward to Badaki. Out to the left where Ismail Jacobs is waiting. He tries to chip a ball forward towards Ilmaz, the centre forward, who flicks it back to Leroy Sané, right hand side. Sané has to cut back and he's surrounded by two players, manages to knock it off. One of them, does he? No, he doesn't. It goes out of play for a Kocaelispor throw in on this near side, as they see it, the left. Taken right in front of Selçuk İnan, 41-year-old manager from Turkey. Celebrates 285 days in charge of Kocaelispor today. But the throw-in is poor, much to his frustration, and Galatasaray get the ball back with 15 minutes on the clock. The game remains at 0-0. Nothing really happening yet, as Davinson Sanchez picks the ball up the centre half. Formerly of Tottenham, where he spent 6 seasons, also spent some time at Ajax in the Netherlands. He spreads the ball down the left to Jacobs, who finds Shalai. Back to Jacobs, who switches the ball from his left foot to his right before playing it back into that channel. And Shalai turns inside and plays a ball into the centre circle to Abdulkarim Badaki. Badaki across to Davinson Sanchez. Here's Leroy Sané, who looks for the ball inside to Lucas Torreira, picked off well by Hrvoje Smolcic, who pumps one down this right-hand side, looking for Joseph Nonj, who can't quite bring it under control, and it rolls through to Ergachan Çakir. He passes it out to Sanchez once more, who's starting to get a bit of a foothold in this game. Davinson Sanchez. 60% possession for Galatasaray. Only recorded one shot though, both teams with one shot. Neither have created a shot on target yet. But Kocaelispor doing a good job defensively. They've won 100% of their tackles as Galatasaray come forward now. Ball inside towards Sara, cleared well by Anthony Dijksteel, who is of Suriname descent. He's got 17 appearances for his country. His brother Malik actually plays for St Mirren, whilst Dijksteel is formerly of Middlesbrough and Charlton. And his clearance runs through to Davinson Sanchez, who looks long and can only pump a ball into the arms of the Kocaelispor goalkeeper, who wears purple today. Wears the number 83, replaces Gökhan Decimenci in the starting lineup, the 37-year-old. Haven't quite settled on a number 1 Kocaelispor. They've had a lot of player turnover since being promoted, but they're having a very good season for a newly promoted side. 8th in the table, as Galatasaray win the ball back again on the centre circle. Badaki to Davinson Sanchez. Ball through the lines to Torreira, who can't control it, and Kocaelispor will come away with it this time through Show. Show all the way back to his captain, Ahmed Oguz, the right back, who switches play to Rigoberto Rivas, who goes to ground under a tackle from Leroy Sané, who did clip him. The tackle was late. Rivas actually holds his hand. It will be a foul. I don't think it'll be much more than that. Leroy Sané just half a stride late. He just goes through the back of Rivas. Yeah, not too much in it, but definitely a foul. And it will be a free kick deep inside their own half for Kocaelispor, slightly to the left, and it's pumped down the left channel, looking towards Joseph Nonj, who can't quite bring it under control, and Davinson Sanchez and Sasha Bowie combine to clear, and they win a throw-in just in front of Olak Buduk, their manager, who's had success in Turkey with multiple clubs. Istanbul Başakşehir, he won the league with before winning it 3 times with Galatasaray in 3 years, of course. 2 Turkish Super Cups, one with Akhisarspor, and of course he's won the Turkish Cup too with Galatasaray. Looking to make it 4 league titles in a row for the Lions. They've had a good run in the Champions League too, of course. Probably would have hoped, given that they led going into the second leg of their round of 16 matchup against Liverpool, they probably would have hoped for a bit more. They'll be hoping for more here as Leroy Sané switches play down the left. Left well by Roland Shalai. He noticed a touch off Habib Keita, and it's a throw-in in the attacking third for the hosts here at Rams Park, which opened in 2011. It once set the record for the loudest stadium in the world in that year, 2011, which has since been broken by the Kansas City Chiefs at the Arrowhead Stadium in the NFL. Ball thrown in inside the 6-yard box, flicked on by Badaki, the captain, straight into the arms of Serhat Öztaşdelen. First shot on target of the game goes the way of Galatasaray. Player down inside the 6-yard box. That's Ahmet Oguz, the opposition captain, who holds his back, and it's actually bounced off the back of the head of Badaki. Well read by Öztaşdelen, who was able to just scurry across and catch that ball. It will be a drop ball to Kocaelispor. 20 minutes gone, Galatasaray 0, Kocaelispor 0. And Serhat Öztaşdelen rolls it out to get us back underway to Hrvoje Smolcic, who is under immense pressure and plays that ball backwards. Ball here on the left with Boyi, who knocks the ball out of play. Rivas has it, who takes the throw in short into Joseph Nonch. Nonch turning, tries to put a cross in, but it's defended by Leroy Sané, who's able to flick it into the channel, and out of play it goes. And that throw in goes the way of Kocaelispor, who'll take it through Rigoberto Rivas. Rivas chipped forward towards Sanchez. Ball in the channel with Nonch, who goes to ground. And it's pumped long by Galatasaray, who are able to clear over on this right-hand side. Brought down by the knee of Anthony Dijksteel, who goes back to Serhat Öztaşdelen. Here's Dijksteel again as we're watching a potential penalty shout. Rivas, who went down, probably should have had a penalty down the other end, but it's Kocaelispor who continue to go forward and knock the ball backwards and into the channel. Well, it's a lovely touch off the chest of Rivas. I think that is just inside the box. See if there's any intervention. Doesn't look like there will be, as Torreira has the ball for Galatasaray. Out to Sasha Bowie. Bowie forward to Gabriel Sarrat. Back to Torreira, who looks to move forward and loses the ball, but goes down and wins a free kick. Yellow card has been given as well. The yellow card given to Joseph Nonch, who made the foul, pulling him back. Yeah, he just pulled Torreira back and stamped on his ankle. You can see why that's a yellow card, and Joseph Nonch will be on a tightrope for the rest of this one. The man formerly of Servette spent his youth career at a combination of Juventus and Anderlecht, and he will complain, but this free kick from probably 37 yards out, very central, be difficult to get a shot in from here, but equally difficult to try and put it onto a head given just how central it is. But Galatasaray will fancy their chances with 25 minutes gone to try and get an opener. Goalkeeper Serhat Öztaşdelen will start at the edge of his 6-yard box, probably just 2 strides inside his 6-yard box, as it's taken short and chipped in towards the left-hand post. Poor cross, headed away easily, not once but twice, and back to İlkay Gündoğan, who finds Gabriel Sara, the man formerly of Norwich. He almost gives it away. Joseph Nonge thought he was through on goal, but he couldn't bring it under control. And Sacha Boey will come back and collect to try and get things going again for Galatasaray, who survive a bit of a scare there. Nonge would have been through on goal. With 25 minutes gone, it remains 0-0, and Galatasaray have the ball on the centre circle with Sanchez. He plays it to the right to Leroy Sané, formerly of Manchester City, Bayern Munich, and of course Schalke. 4 times German champion, 2 times English champion, Sané, but he gives the ball away for the Turkish champions. But it's won back deep in defence by Sacha Boey, who plays the ball to Sanchez, who finds Sané again. Sané tries to play the ball inside, loses out this time. It's Nonge, edge of the box, gets a shot in off the legs of Jakir. The first real save for the Galatasaray keeper, and he does well just to bring his knees together and block that ball away. It was a good shot that came in. I think it was Dan Adji who scored in the reverse fixture, who hit it with his left boot off the legs of the goalkeeper. And Kocaelispor get a corner which is taken short and clipped in towards the back post, flicked on and flicked out of play for a goal kick. And once again, Galatasaray survive a scare. And they play it out short from the back to Torreira, who will look to bring it forward. Lucas Torreira, 40 caps for his country, Uruguay. 2020-21 Spanish champion with Atletico Madrid. 3 times Turkish champion. He's also played for Fiorentina and Sampdoria, as well, of course, as a short spell with Arsenal in the Premier League, whose gap at the top shrinks in that division. Man City winning 3-0 away to Chelsea today, after they lost to Bournemouth yesterday. And Torreira has the ball still just outside the centre circle. He looks back to the man formerly of Tottenham, the opposite number in the North London derby. Arsenal and Tottenham contest that one, as the ball's played into the right channel for Shalai. Back it goes to Davinson Sanchez, who plays it inside to İlkay Gündoğan, who turns and plays the ball back across to Torreira. Torreira edges forward, plays it in towards Sané, who goes to ground but is able to just about scurry it from under his feet and regain possession as he rises to his feet and plays the ball to the right hand side, where waiting is Yilmaz. Back it goes to Sanchez. Here's Gabriel Sara to Leroy Sané, who's drifted inside and plays the ball across to Gündoğan, who edges towards the perimeter of the box. Sané looks to twist and turn and try and create something here, but has to go backwards to Lucas Torreira, who plays a lovely ball through the lines to Gündoğan. Gündoğan in space, out to the right hand side to Boey, cuts across, goes through everyone, and out it comes to Gabriel Sara from range, saved by the goalkeeper Serhat Oztazdalin. He might have knocked it onto the crossbar as Galatasaray appeal for a penalty, but Kocaelispor come the other way now, but lose the ball, but win a free kick actually just inside their own half. Player down for Galatasaray. Oh, that could well be a penalty. Sara, who's gone up to try and win the header, he's been pushed in the back as he's gone down, but I don't think anything coming of it. Rising to his feet there is Mamadou Sissoko, formerly of Peterborough United and Manchester City's under-21s team, but nothing coming of it. We're just watching that ball inside from Sacha Boey. Superb ball along the edge of the 6-yard box. No one able to get a foot to it. And I don't think it was a foul there actually from Mamadou Sissoko. He got a hand in the back of the rising Ismail Jacobs, but no foul, and play eventually can continue through Hervoje Smolcic, who looks across to Anthony Dijksteel, Dijksteel back to Oztazdalin, who plays it forward to Habib Keita. Here's Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez across to Abdul Karim Badaki. Badaki forward to İlkay Gundogan. Gundogan plays it out to his left to Roland Shalai, who knocks it back into his own half. And after 30 minutes, the score goalless. Down the right the ball goes, headed on by Kocaelispor, not once but twice into the feet of Show, who can turn and play a ball to AG, who darts down the left but loses the ball, giving it away to Ismail Jacobs, who plays it to Sasha Boye, and Davinson Sanchez can play one forward to Lucas Torreira, who spreads it down the left to Roland Shalai. Shalai with a ball between the lines to Ismail Jacobs, crossing chance, good ball in, onto the head and into the back of the net. It's Leroy Sané with the opener. 30 minutes gone. Galatasaray, the league leaders, extend that lead back to 4 points at the top. The ball in from the left-hand side from Ismail Jacobs onto the head of Leroy Sané, who made no mistake as he directed it past Serhat Oztazdalin and into the back of the Kocaelispor goal. Leroy Sané with his 7th of the season, and it just goes to show that star quality is so important in football. Lovely ball in by Ismail Jacobs, a low, difficult header for Leroy Sané, who directed it beautifully into the bottom left-hand corner of the net. And it's Galatasaray who lead by a 1-0 after 30 minutes. Galatasaray 1, Kocaelispor 0. And the players in red and orange huddle around the corner flag. They celebrate with their winger, German international, who gets his 7th of the season in 23 appearances. So Kocaelispor concede their 33rd goal of the season. Galatasaray, well, for them, that's goal number 67. And the title charge is building pace. After this one, they have just 6 matches to go. 2 games against Gençlerbirliği, 1 in the league away from home before they play them at home in the Turkish Cup quarter-finals. Then the difficult task of hosting Fenerbahçe before Samsunspor, Antalyaspor and Kasimpasa on the last day of the season. Well, the champagne not on ice just yet, but the celebrations, you feel, will be coming. Their 4th celebrations in 4 years. They're ahead through Leroy Sané as Kocaelispor look to come forward down the left-hand side. Cleared away by Davinson Sanchez. Forward towards Sané, the goal scorer, who can't keep it in play. Throw in on the right-hand side. The left as Kocaelispor see it, and they take it quickly to Anthony Dijksteel, 29-year-old, who plays a ball into the channel to Ahmet Oguz, their captain, who loses out this time. Gabriel Sarrar wins the ball back and plays it to Badaki, the captain, for the leaders. Roland Shalai. Cross to Lucas Torreira. Here's Davinson Sanchez. Back across to Abdul Karim Badaki. Badaki to Ismail Jacobs. Jacobs with the ball on his right boot. Plays it backwards to Abdul Karim Badaki again. Badaki across to Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez back to Badaki once more, who plays a ball left to Jacobs again, who got the assist with a lovely ball in for Sané, who still had work to do with the header, but a wonderful finish from him as Jacobs finds Sarrar. Sarrar puts the ball in, good ball, looking for the head of Barış Yilmaz. Defended well by Kocaelispor, who can look to come away with it, but give it away to Lucas Torreira, who finds Sané, the goal scorer, on the right-hand side. Crossing opportunity. He tries to cut inside onto his left boot and plays it back to Sasha Boye. Boye to Sanchez, who tries to backheel it back inside, but the ball has to bobble through to Sané again. Back to Torreira on the angle. Plays the ball through the lines, flicked out to Sané. Sané with a chance to cross, puts it across, and there's no one there, and it's headed away only as far as Davinson Sanchez, who volleys the ball back to his goalkeeper, Agurcan Shakir, who's inside the centre circle. Attack continues through Torreira for Galatasaray, who lead here by a goal to nil. İlkay Gündoğan with space to meander forward, plays a ball through to Barış Yılmaz. Good defending by Anthony Dijksteel, who got a strong right boot in to prevent the chance and knock the ball out for a throw-in, which is taken quickly on this side, the left. Shalai with the ball inside to Torreira. Torreira on the corner of the box, plays it back out to Ismail Jacobs, who finds İlkay Gündoğan. Still the ball in this left channel, chip forward, looking for Shalai, who can't quite bring it under control, and out it goes for a goal kick to Kocaelispor. Just looking at a VAR check for that goal, and Ismail Jacobs was onside by the width of a toenail. A perfectly timed run, a perfectly delivered ball in, and a perfect header from Leroy Sané, who gave Galatasaray the lead against Kocaelispor, who have the ball with their goalkeeper just inside his own box. As the goal kick's taken to him, he plays it to his left to Hervoje Smolcic. Smolcic looks forward down the left and chips one forward. Headed back and then forward by Kocaelispor, who, well, the play stopped. They thought they were away down the left-hand side with Habib Keita. Players stopped, two players down, one from either side, holding the back of their head. And the medics will run straight onto the field. And we could have a lengthy stoppage here as two players, İlkay Gündoğan for Galatasaray and one of the Kocaelispor players, surrounded by medics. Just watching that back, I think it was the striker Serdar Dursun for Kocaelispor who's involved initially. He flicked the ball back, and rising into the challenge and catching the back of the head of Gündoğan will show the number 14, who's still down holding his head. Ice pack on the field, a big blue bag with a white end on it. He receives that medical treatment. And it looks like both of them may just about be okay as they rise back to their feet. But Galatasaray leading here by a goal to nil. Leroy Sané's header on the half-hour mark, beating goalkeeper Serhat Öztaşdelen. I think both players involved in that head injury, that collision, are going to be okay. Both of them exit the field of play. We are almost ready to get back underway. And the ball's played along the back line. Down it goes to the right. Sasha Boye has it. He flicks it back to Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez forward to Ismail Jacobs. Jacobs back to Badaki, the captain, and Galatasaray's slow and steady build-up continues. Well, they scored 3 last time out against Göztepe. They possibly haven't created so many chances in the opening 40 minutes as they give the ball away here, but they'll be pleased to lead. Ball played inside by Dan Ag. It's a poor ball straight over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick to Galatasaray, whose home stadium packed to the rafters as their title charge builds pace further. Gündoğan receives the ball off the goal kick, turns and plays it back to Badaki, who looks across to Ismail Jacobs. Jacobs to Badaki again. He's got Davinson Sanchez to his right, who brings it under control with his right boot and flicks it forward to Sané, who flicks a ball inside, looking for the onrushing Gabriel Serrar. It's not, it's Sasha Boye who wins the throw-in on this near side, the right. Here's Sané, who is under immense pressure and the ball flicked onwards. Sane inside to Gabriel Serra, back to Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez across to Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan with space to play a ball down the left to Roland Shalai. Looking dangerous here are the hosts, who play a ball inside to Serra again. Here's Ismail Jacobs, who can cross well, but instead he plays a ball inside, receives it back again. This time the cross in, batted away, shot comes in, deflected out of play for, I think, a goal kick. Ilkay Gundogan striking from 25 yards out. Good build-up play from Galatasaray. Jacobs involved, Shalai involved, Jacobs with the cutback, cleared away, and Ilkay Gundogan's shot bounces off the backside of Baris Yilmaz, and it will be a goal kick to Kocaelispor. 40 minutes gone, 5 minutes of the first half, plus stoppage time of course remain, and Galatasaray leading by a goal to nil. Dijksteel clears long for Kocaelispor in their unusually coloured strip. It's kind of a greeny grey, almost like a navy kind of colour. Interesting to see that colour used in football. We don't see that too often. I think AC Milan might have worn similar a couple of seasons ago, but it's the only memory of this colour being used that I've got. As Galatasaray continue their attack with a lovely flick down the right towards Leroy Sane and Sasha Boye, but neither of them able to bring it under control, and Kocaelispor recover through their goalkeeper Oz Tazdalan. They clear long, and it's brought down well by the knee of captain Badaki, who looks back to Gurchan Chakir, who passes forward to Davinson Sanchez and Lucas Torreira, who's bundled to the ground. A very, very late tackle and a free kick inside their own half for Galatasaray, and a chance to put more players forward. And you can see why there was some frustration as Badaki brought the ball under control. He used his hand to bring it down, wasn't spotted by the referee, and he gets away with it as Galatasaray get us going again from the free kick. Ball played down the left to Ismail Jacobs, inside to Badaki, who plays backwards to Gurchan Chakir, who boots it with his laces of his right boot up into the sky, headed down by Kocaelispor, who look to build an attack but can't do so as the ball's picked off by Davinson Sanchez to Sane, who turns his marker, and a ball flicked onwards, not once but twice down this right hand side towards Sasha Boye, who brings it under control. Crossing chance, passes back instead to Baris Yilmaz, back to Boye, who finds Gabriel Serra deep inside the Kocaelispor half. Play switched to Badaki, the centre half, out to Ismail Jacobs, who had the assist from a similar position, but this time he elects to pass it to Roland Shalai. Across to Gabriel Serra, who looks forward and loses the ball, and Kocaelispor look to come away with it, and the press of Galatasaray forces them to go sideways before they can pass it forward, and Lucas Torreira slides in and wins the ball back for the hosts. Lovely ball inside to Gabriel Serra. Galatasaray building again with Gundogan now. Back he goes to Ismail Jacobs. Jacobs to Shalai. Back to Jacobs again. Here's Badaki just inside his own half. Forward it goes to Gundogan. Back to Badaki again. And this slow and steady build-up once again creates an opening down the right through Sasha Boye. Boye forward to Leroy Sane, who looks to turn and finds a ball through the channel to Boye again, who is onside. Boye has two players for support and goes to Sane, who's the further back of them, who flicks it inside to Boye. Boye with a cross in towards Gundogan, headed away, but only as far as Torreira, who flicks it back out wide to Boye in the right channel. Boye backwards this time to Davinson Sanchez. Back to Boye, who's had 6 or 7 touches in succession. He finds Torreira. Torreira plays the ball off of Rigoberto Rivas, and it's a throw into Galatasaray on this near side, the right. Ball in the hands of Sasha Boye again. Boye, 25 years old, French player on loan from Bayern Munich. Been here since February. He's made a good impression as he spreads the ball to Badaki, who looks to attack down the left. Here's Gundogan. Gundogan tries to slide to keep the ball in play, but out it goes for a throw-in on the far side, the left. Good play from Galatasaray to create the opening down the left, but it couldn't be kept in, and Ahmet Ugas, the captain for Kocaelispor, will have this throw-in. And takes it short to Rivas and clears long inside. It's a poor clearance which will be brought down beautifully by Gabriel Serra. Attacking chance if he can just get the ball to a teammate, which he can't, and it will be cleared by Kocaelispor. High, up and under, all the way through to, well, they were looking for Habib Keita, but eventually Galatasaray able to clear down the left towards Hervoye. Smolcic, the centre half of Kocaelispor, who look to forge another attack here through Show. Show chips a ball into this left channel. Dan Aji, who scored in a reverse fixture, looks to get on the end of it, but it rolls straight through to Agurcan Çikir in the Galatasaray goal. 30 seconds left of the 45. You expect probably 2 or 3 minutes of first half stoppage time as Galatasaray look to come forward and get a second on the stroke of the interval. Roland Shalai back to Abdul Karim Badaki. Badaki across to Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez forward as it is 2 minutes of first half stoppage time shown by the fourth official. 2 minutes for Kocaelispor to look for parity as they have the ball with goalkeeper Serhat Oztazdalin, who wears the number 83. Well, traditionally goalkeepers wear the 1. 83, a very big number for a goalkeeper to wear. Just his second start of the campaign, and already he's been beaten. Ball on the left with Shalai, looks backwards to Ismail Jacobs. Galatasaray attacking with 90 seconds left of the first half. Across to Davinson Sanchez. Here's Sasha Boye on the right. Forward to Leroy Sané, the goal scorer, who's got some space to meander across towards the centre of the field. Sané with the ball forward, falls to his captain, Baris Yilmaz, but the flag goes up for offside just as the play looked open. Baris Yilmaz, 2 yards offside. Free kick to Kocaelispor just outside their own box. And that will be almost the end of the first half. In fact, it's gone as a handball. It was Yilmaz who won the ball. He managed to flick it up into the air and his hand battered it down. So a free kick with 1 of the 2 added minutes gone, taken long by Oztazdalin, and won in the centre of the park by Kocaelispor. We've got an opportunity here down the left hand side, but poor passing sees it roll straight through for a Galatasaray throw in on this near side, the right. It's going to be Sasha Boye to take it. He's going to just wind down the clock slightly as they look to regain their 1-goal lead into the break. Flicked backwards. Kocaelispor back to the goalkeeper Oztazdalin, who looks long and loses the ball to Galatasaray, who drive down the left with İlkay Gundogan looking for a second. Ball into the channel towards Roland Shalai. A perfect time for a second if they can put a cross in. They can't. Shalai stumbled and Kocaelispor win the ball back through Anthony Dijksteel, who plays it off and loses it to İlkay Gundogan. Back out to Shalai again. Shalai goes down. This time it will be a free kick with the 2 minutes up. And the referee blows for half time, which seems quite controversial. Galatasaray lead by a 1-0 at the break, but they would have had a free kick in a really attacking position there. You can see the frustrations. Abdul Karim, the captain, complains and protests. You can see why. It was a free kick 25 yards out, but on a beautiful angle just on the edge of the box. Would have been a great crossing chance. Frustration for Galatasaray, but overall they're riding a high at the moment. They are 4 points clear as things stand at the top of the Turkish Super League. They lead by a 0-0. The ball played in by Ismail Jacobs onto the head of Leroy Sané, who headed down and into the bottom right hand corner of Serhat Oztazdalin's net at the break. It's Galatasaray 1, Kocaelispor. Well, the players back out onto the pitch here at Rams Park. Galatasaray leading Kocaelispor by 1-0. The goal came on the 30th minute when Ismail Jacobs put a ball in from the left-hand side, headed back the way it came from Leroy Sané, down and into the bottom corner past Serhat Oztazdalin. That the only real clear-cut chance of the game. At half-time, Galatasaray lead Kocaelispor by 1-0. And Kocaelispor, during the break, sent many of their substitutes out to warm up. Perhaps we'll see a change. We'll wait and see, as their players are yet to emerge from the tunnel. Frustration for İlkay Gündoğan, who stands with the ball in his hands, waiting as the Kocaelispor players start to trickle out the tunnel. They've got a ladder to climb over and do some drills through before they enter the field. But it looks like there will be a change for them, as I can see the fourth official with the board in his hands. So we'll wait and see who will be making way. You feel perhaps they need some reinforcement in midfield, but we'll wait for confirmation. Galatasaray lead by 1-0. Here comes the board, so we can see the change. Off comes Joseph Nonch, who was booked in the first half, and in his place will be Masario Hidara, who actually tends to play as a left back, so perhaps he'll be playing in that wing position. So Masario Hidara comes on to the field for Kocaelispor, who make one change at half-time. Galatasaray leading by 1-0. Second half, full audio commentary on the way of Galatasaray v Kocaelispor. And we are back underway. The ball with Çakır, the goalkeeper for Galatasaray, who starts this second half unchanged. He's in goal, a back four of Ismail Jacobs, who got the assist earlier on. Abdülkerim Badaki, the captain, plays alongside Davinson Sanchez, formerly of Tottenham Hotspur, with Sasha Bowie playing at right back. Two holding midfielders, both experienced. İlkay Gündoğan and Lucas Torreira both have had spells at big clubs across Europe. Leroy Sané, another player with lots of big game experience. He scored the goal earlier on, and he continues down the right with Gabriel Sarrar down the middle and Roland Shalai down the left. Baris Yilmaz, the lone striker for Aslanlar. Kocaelispor, well, they made one change at half-time. Hidara on for Joseph Nonch, who was booked in the first. Serhat Oztazdalin continues in goal with a back four of Rigoberto Rivas, Hrvoje Smolcic, Anthony Dijksteel and Armel Oguz, the captain, who plays at right back. Three midfielders, Habib Keita, Show and Mamadou Sissoko, with Dan Aji down the right, Masado Hidara down the left, the substitute, and Seshar Duzan, who's done very little in the opening 45 minutes. He continues up front as Galatasaray try a long ball forward, picked off by Kocaelispor and by their number two, Anthony Dijksteel, who wins a free kick just outside their own box. I think it was Torreira who went through the back of him, and that's why they get a free kick very, very deep inside their own half, which I think goalkeeper Oztazdalin is going to come out and take for them. He's wearing all purple as Kocaelispor shoot from left to right. They didn't have a corner at all in that first half. Now look to pump one long here with their goalkeeper, who looks to try and play a ball behind the lines, but it's picked off well, and Gabriel Sarrar can come away with it, finding İlkay Gündoğan. Gündoğan looks long towards the runner, Baris Yilmaz. Yilmaz still charging forward, eventually defended by Hrvoje Smolcic, who got a big right boot to it and flicked it away. And he receives the ball back again and plays it forward to Show. Show with a ball down the left-hand side to Keita, and already Kocaelispor passing the ball with a bit more impetus than they did in that first half. Switching the play now down the right. Here is Masado Hidara, the substitute, who finds a ball to Ahmet Oguz, the captain. Oguz inside, headed away and headed out eventually by İlkay Gündoğan. Brought down by the chest of Habib Keita, who loses out this time to Gabriel Sarrar. Sarrar loses the ball and forward come Kocaelispor before the referee stops them. A foul there in the build-up. Free kick to Galatasaray just inside the centre circle, which will be taken by Abdülkerim Badaki as Sarrar was pulled back, was he? There's no foul there at all. The referees got that one wrong. But Galatasaray won't mind as they have the ball at feet again with Abdülkerim Badaki. Badaki inside to Lucas Torreira. Torreira to Sané, who's slightly inverted at the start of this second half, and he finds a beautiful ball looking down the left towards Roland Shalai. who can't bring it under control, and it's dealt with well by Sasha Boyi, who plays it back and loses out to the goalkeeper Serhat Oztazdalen. Looked like Boyi was going to be in there. Free kick given eventually in the centre circle for Galatasaray. Torreira takes it down to the right to Leroy Sane. Sane back to Davinson Sanchez, formerly of Ajax, who just slows things down, and Galatasaray not really looking to build in the second half. Here's Gundogan to Shalai, across to Sara again. Here's Torreira in some space, finds the ball down the right to Leroy Sane, who's running into the box, has been sublime so far in this match as we tick over into the 50th minute. Sara with the ball, looks for a long range shot. Sara blocked away by Keita, only out as far as Shalai, who puts the ball in, looking for Ilmaz at the back post, who can't extend his neck enough and get ahead to the ball. And once again Galatasaray have to build up from midfield with Lucas Torreira. Forward to Sara, chips one down the right hand side looking for Sane, who gets onto it well, brings it onto his left boot and tries to play it in, but it bounces out for a throw into Kocaelispor after he hit the ball off Rigoberto Rivas, the player from Honduras. 27 appearances for his nation, 1 goal. Started his career with the youth team at Inter Milan. 107 appearances out on loan in City B before joining Kocaelispor, who have the ball over with Ahmet Oguz, their captain, who plays a lovely ball inside to Show. Inside his own half still, pressure comes from the Galatasaray players, and Oguz loses out here to Ilmaz, who's dropped out to the left hand side. Ilmaz with the ball inside to Sara. Real chance for Galatasaray, who play the ball back. Here it is Sara, across he goes to Sane. Sane cuts in onto his left foot, good shot, fired over the top of the crossbar. Could so easily have been 2, but Galatasaray can't quite find it. Sane strikes it with his laces. Oh, I think it might just have nicked off the crossbar as it came in. A glove actually from Serhat Oztazdalen to send it onto the crossbar. A fine fingertip save to flick it over, and Leroy Sane somehow is prevented from scoring a second. Corner ball for Galatasaray. The referee stops it before they can quite put it in. It's Gabriel Sara over it. The referee wants to have a word with Badaki, who's pushing and shoving his marker. Sara then, with 2 hands in the air, plays this one in towards the back post. He's overhit it slightly, headed across by Badaki, flicked on by Sanchez, still bobbling around inside the box as Ilmaz gets ahead on it. Torreira flicks it forward and eventually stabbed clear by Kocaelispor. Only as far as Sasha Boyi over on the right hand side. He finds Sane in the channel. Gundogan, ball across, diving save from Oztazdalen to prevent any further opportunity for the league leaders and the hosts Galatasaray. And Kocaelispor can look to build out from the back this time with Mohamedou Sissoko, who loses the ball, but it's won back by Show, who drags over to the right hand side and plays a lovely ball forward to the onrushing AG. AG in space, cuts the ball back to Serdar Dursun. Dursun here finds Habib Keita, back out to Show. Here's a ball across which is blocked away, and the offside call anyway. Davinson Sanchez got the final touch on it to knock it out for what would have been a corner, but the offside flag was incorrectly up. I think he was being played onside by Abdul Karim Badaki, but nonetheless the offside flag did go up, so free kick and offside the call. And Galatasaray won't have to do much more defending as Sissoko comes off the field for Tayful Bingöl. So he'll drop into midfield. He actually, I think he might drop into the left wing position with Macedo Hadara dropping further back. So Tayful Bingöl onto the field as Jakir plays the ball down the right hand side looking for Sane. Sane forward to his striker Baris Ilmaz, who lets the ball run through, doesn't bring it under control and knocks it out. And you feel that this game is calling for a certain Mauro Icardi. He's played this season just 1,104 minutes as Kocaelispor look to come the other way. But Mauro Icardi, the Argentinian, well, in those 1,104 minutes across 26 matches. He's scored 13 goals, often coming off the bench, and as the numbers suggest. But you feel that his experience, his big game play, might be so important for Galatasaray as they look to defend a long throw in here, and they do so at the front post, easily headed away by Shalai. Back inside it goes by Oguz, headed away again, that time by Torreira. But Kocaelispor pick it up again, and Ilmaz sprints out for the press, which forces the ball back to the halfway line, and it's picked off by Torreira, who can try and drive forward. Flicks the ball down the right hand side towards Sane. Big chance for Galatasaray. Edge of the box is Sane. Cuts in onto his left boot, plays it across. Saraj straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, and Serhat Oztazdelen will easily claim it between his legs. Two strong hands on it, and he'll just leave the ball on the floor and wait for the press to come. But really, Leroy Sane there, who sprinted onto the loose ball, played a lovely cut back across. He should have gone himself, and Gabriel Sarrar, who ran onto the cutback, could only smash it straight at the goalkeeper as he had two defenders and was trying to squeeze it between the gap of their legs. And Sarrar misses a big chance. Perhaps you'd say that Sane missed the big chance because he should have had the shot. He had it on his right, was so keen to switch the ball onto his left foot. But as it is, on the 55th minute, Galatasaray 1, Kocaelispor 0. The leaders continue to lead by a goal and by 4 points at the top of the Turkish Superliga, with 5 league matches to go and some cup games too. Gençlerbirliği away from home next up in the league. That's next Saturday, 6 p.m. UK time. Cup quarter final the week after, on Wednesday night. That one at home, back here at Rams Park. Kocaelispor, they play Göztepe at home next before they welcome, or they travel I should say, to Gençlerbirliği. Kapı Msara at home after that before Fatih Kamcuruk and Antalyaspor away on the last game of the season. But really, Kocaelispor have very little to play for now. They know they're safe, they're 8th in the table. They just want to end what's been a poor run of form. 1 win in their last 6, 3 without a win in the league. They will have a free kick here in the centre of the park. Little action happening on the pitch, but Kocaelispor now will flick one down the right hand side looking for AG, who heads it into the box, and it's headed up and out for a corner to the visitors. Well, Selçuk Inan, his side have won a third of his matches in charge. Won 11, drawn 8, lost 14. He's been boss for 33. Now they have a corner to try and get something from this one. Approaching the hour mark. Ball on the right with Oguz, who pulls it back from the corner kick to Keita. Here's Oguz again. Keita again, who brings it onto his left foot and plays it across to his centre half, Anthony Dijksteel. Back to Habib Keita. And Ahmet Oguz, the captain, he's got an option to his right this time in Rivas, who loses out that time to Sasha Bowie, who gives the ball away. Coming forward are Kocaelispor, who can't quite bring it under control, and it rolls out for a goal kick. Well, a real opening there. The ball played across. The shot from Dursun wide of the post. It was poor actually. Looked like he'd just let the ball roll through. He didn't get any contact on it. But on the replay you can see he did swing his boot at it, but couldn't make anything happen. Here's a chip ball forward though. Kocaelispor one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And the shot's dragged wide, but saved by the offside flag anyway. A lovely ball, chipped over the top. It came from the centre half. Herboye Smolcic. It was lovely up towards, I think it was Masadro Hadara, who struck it with his left boot, wide of the right upright. And after 60 minutes, Galatasaray continue to lead Kocaelispor by a goal to nil. The ball with the right back. Sasha Bowie plays it back to the goalkeeper, Agurçin Shakir. Here's ball down the right towards Sane, who can't bring it in with his chest. He does well to get to it at all, but can only flick it up and over the top of his head and out for a throw-in. Kocaelispor coming forward. Ball cut back to Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez edging forward, weaving through two Galatasaray players and passing forward to Haidara, who tries the ball across. Serdar Dursun throws himself at it, but he gets underneath it and the ball shoots up and over the top of the crossbar. And a let-off again for Galatasaray. Lovely ball in. Really brave play from Serdar Dursun to put his body behind the ball, but he just catches it on the angle and sends it up and over the top. And it remains 1-0. Ugercan Shakir with the ball on the edge of his 6-yard box sends his players forward as he launches the ball up into the opposition half, headed down by Kocaelispor off the goal kick. Back it bobbles towards Barış Yilmaz, who is bundled to the ground, but the free kick goes the way of Kocaelispor. I think Yilmaz had dived into the Kocaelispor centre half. Is it Dijkstein who's down? I think it is. And actually, that should have been a free kick to Galatasaray. It's almost a rugby tackle from Dijkstein. But the referee doesn't view it that way, and the visitors get us back underway with a free kick inside their own half, played down to the right towards Haidara, who can't keep it in play, but he can crucially force it off Ismail Jacobs and out for his own team's throw, which is taken long. Lovely ball into the channel, but rising to try and reach it was Tifo Bifol, but he couldn't get there, and it rolls for a goal kick. But it's a nice idea from Kocaelispor, who are just starting to show a little bit more urgency. Goals have been at a premium for them this season. Just 23 scored, that's the third lowest in the division. Well, if you don't shoot, you can't score. They've had just one shot on target in this match, 4 shots total. Galatasaray with 9 shots, 5 of which on target, and that really highlights the differences between these sides. Kocaelispor, well, they've been defensive. I was looking at a touch map and a positional map at half-time. They've sat deep, they've looked to command their own half, but Galatasaray, well, when they force players forward, you can see the quality. Look at Leroy Sané, who scored the goal, İlkay Gündoğan, Lucas Torreira, and they've got more to bring off the bench. Real talent amongst the ranks of Galatasaray. When you're a team like Kocaelispor, who like to sit deep, you know that those experienced players will always bring the quality. You need to try something slightly different, which is what they've done in this second half, playing with more urgency, a higher tempo, and looking to force an opening, which they can't do as the ball rolls through to Ugercan Shakir, who looks long. A lovely ball forward, and a great diving defensive header by Ahmet Ugaz to play it back to his goalkeeper, Serhat Öztaşdelen, as Roland Shalai thought he was through on goal. But Shalai wins it back high up the field, finds Sada with his head, and Sada can't bring it under control, and it's cleared along and headed forward by Gündoğan into Shalai, who finds Sada with his first touch. Sada, under some pressure, looks to try and go backwards as a player down on the centre circle. In fact, he's slightly to the left. The ball's been kicked out of play. The physios will come on. He's gone down holding the front of his shin. Is it his hip? No, it's been a cramp in his quad. The physios will come on and take a look. I think is it Dan? Actually, it's not. It's Rigoberto Rivas who's down. Just some cramp in his quads. Nothing too serious, but will require some medical treatment, as we see the substitutes for Galatasaray sent to warm up. Amongst them, the man I mentioned earlier, Mauro Icardi, centre forward. But first, we're going to see Noah Lang, the left winger, introduced. You perhaps feel for Roland Shalai, who struggled to get into the match, really. But Lang, who is on loan from Napoli, formerly of PSV, Ajax and Club Brugge, a great career in the Netherlands. His homeland, for whom he's made 15 appearances, 3 goals. Yet to record a goal here in the Turkish Super League. But he will be coming onto the pitch. Kocaelispor to make 2 changes too. They're bringing on Bruno Petkovic as one of them. The other, I think it will be perhaps Sanit Yalcin. We'll wait for confirmation of that one, as the changes surely will be made now. We'll just wait for the injured player to be treated. Rigoberto Rivas still down. And it's just slowed the tempo down slightly as their centre forward comes off. Serdar Dursun off the field. And Petkovic comes on in his place, the number 9. So Bruno Petkovic will lead the line, and Can Keles will come on for the injured Rigoberto Rivas. So you suspect he'll push slightly further up the field. As play continues again with Galatasaray controlling the ball. I don't think they made their change there. So Noah Lang waits a few more moments as the ball's played down the right-hand side to Bruno's Yilmaz. And Baris Yilmaz loses out. Good challenge by Chanqueres with his first involvement. And here's long ball forward, rolls through for, well, I was going to say a throw-in, but I think it's been given as a free kick for offside. It was a free kick. Petkovic a yard inside Galatasaray's half. And the hosts who lead get us underway again. 65 minutes gone, 1-0. Ball back with Chikir, who looks to his left and finds Ismail Jacobs. Jacobs up and long, picked off in the centre circle by Habib Keita. Kocaelispor with shirts forward. Galatasaray to make 2 changes here. I think that's Mario Lemina, or is it Wilfred Singo? It's Wilfred Singo on the sideline waiting to come on. He'll probably come on for Davinson Sanchez perhaps. Centre back. Here's Hadara for Kocaelispor, who just about dodged the referee. Free kick given just outside the centre circle. As those changes now will be made. It was number 7, Dan Agi, who went down under the tackle from Baris Yilmaz. That's really harsh. The referee's got in the way, and Yilmaz has had no way around the player on the ball and has been forced to make that challenge, really. Nonetheless, free kick. Noah Lang onto the pitch. Roland Shalai comes off. So that's where Lang will go, into that left wing position. The second change is Sasha Boyi, who will leave the field of play for Wilfred Singo. So there are 2 changes for Galatasaray. They've made 2. It's now 4 made by Kocaelispor. You can see how they've conceded so few goals, Kocaelispor, and their strong defensive structure as their free kick comes into the box and is cleared easily by the hosts. They've got a really deep back line. They work well as a unit. They did concede that ball as they were caught unaware when Ismail Jacobs made an overlapping run, just beat the offside trap, played a lovely ball into the edge of the 6-yard box before Leroy Sané made light work of the header. That's the only real opportunity Galatasaray have had, but they took their chance supremely well, and they lead and have the ball inside their own half as they scoop it up into the sky and out for a Kocaelispor throw-in on the far side, the left, just inside the opposition half. Taken short and flicked long, but flicked straight out for a goal kick. It was the substitute, Bruno Petkovic, who got the final touch to send that ball out of play. And Galatasaray get us moving again with Chikir. Chikir edges towards the edge of his area and plays the ball straight forward into İlkay Gundogan before it's launched up into the evening sky over Istanbul. The European side of the Bosphorus, which Galatasaray call home, the club named after a local elementary school. over 100 years ago now. Much older team than their opposition, Kufej, the Gulf as they're known. Kocaelispor, founded just 60 years ago this year. And they've got an opportunity here as they work it down the left with Hedera. Hedera tries to beat the tackle, finds a G, but it's knocked out of play by Davinson Sanchez for a throw-in parallel with the edge of the box and taken quickly by Kocaelispor in their almost navy green. Flick forward to Hedera. Here's AG, left-hand side. Hedera cuts inside and loses out, and Terera can try and come away with it as he plays it forward to Ilmaz, but a foul has been given, I think against Gabriel Serra, and it will be a free kick to Kocaelispor, who will have the opportunity to put one in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. You'd think from this angle on the left, it's a lovely crossing chance. And Ahmet Oguz, the player over it, he just adjusts the ball to be right on the foam line put down by the referee as the 70th minute arrives. 1-0 Galatasaray lead, but Kocaelispor with the opportunity to cause some havoc from this free kick. Over on the left, right out towards the touchline, and it's drilled in hard towards the goalkeeper, headed away by Wilfried Singo. Only as far as Anthony Dijksteel, who clips one down the left, brought down by the chest of AG. AG flicks one forward looking for Keita. Keita can't bring it under control, and a combination of Gundogan and Sarah are able to clear, and it's picked off by Baris Ilmaz, who looks to drive down the right-hand side, defended well in the end by Ahmet Oguz, who smashes it out for a throw into Galatasaray inside opposition half. And they slow things down and allow Wilfried Singo to get up to take the throw in. They pile bodies forward, shirts in red and orange, almost all of them inside the navy green half. Back it goes to Badaki, who's got an option and a runner down his left but goes alone. Still Badaki edging forward, long range, I think it was a cross, perhaps an effort into the 6-yard box, caught easily by Serhat Oztazdalin, who fires it out of one hand up into the sky, and he finds his centre forward Bruno Petkovic, who turns his back and is able to play a ball to Habib Keita to continue the attack. Here's Petkovic again, back now to Show. Show looks across and finds his captain Oguz. Oguz forward to Hedera, who dances around on this right hand side and now puts a ball across. It's inside the 6-yard box, flicked across and is flicked home. Kocaelispor have one back through the substitute Bruno Petkovic. The ball fell to him just outside the 6-yard box, and he made no mistake with the finish, firing home with his right boot to the bottom left-hand corner of Ergurcan Shakir's net. And against the run of play, Kocaelispor have parity again. They beat Galatasaray in the home fixture. Well, now they're drawing in the away one. Bruno Petkovic was the only player who could really bring the ball under control, and a lovely finish to send the goalkeeper the wrong way. Makes it Galatasaray 1, Kocaelispor 1, and Petkovic just found the angle to slot home. The substitutes with his 7th goal of the season for the man formerly of Bologna, Hellas Verona and Dinamo Zagreb, and it's a well-timed finish with just 18 minutes plus stoppage time to play. The game level again, and Petkovic, well, he did really well there to find the bottom corner of the net. Galatasaray get us back underway. The ball sent back to Ergurcan Shakir. Shakir with a right boot to send it up into the evening sky, looking for Baris Ilmaz, who can't win the header. And away come Kocaelispor. Did that hit a hand? No, says the referee. Looked like it did to me. Many of the Galatasaray fans complaining too. As the ball knocked inside by Kocaelispor, and they're able to secure possession through Anthony Dijksteel, who looks long down the right hand side. Great ball to Soa. Soa dances around and plays it inside to the goalscorer Petkovic, who thought he'd beat his marker, but Gundogan able to clear and find Yilmaz, who can't keep the ball in play. And much to the frustration of Kocaelispor, it's a throw-in to Galatasaray. Flagged the assistant, but the referee agrees with the Kocaelispor players, and the throw-in goes to the visitors with 15 minutes left plus stoppage time. They bring the ball down the right-hand side to Sasoa. Back it goes to Ugas. Ugas forward and brought down well by EG, who turns and plays the ball back to Ugas. Ugas to Oztazdelen, who brings it down with his right boot and flicks it across his own goal to Hervoje Smolcic. Smolcic inside to Show. Show with some space, plays it to his left to Hadara. Here's Keita to Hadara again, back to Keita and back to Smolcic. The press comes from Galatasaray again, but it's played around by Kocaelispor, who find Ugas on the right. Two subs ready for Galatasaray, who look to try and find a second and potentially a winner, as there's a foul just inside their own half by Mohamedou Sushoa on Noah Lang. And play will continue from this throw-in, as two substitutes will be made. Lucas Torreira's game is done. Mario Lemina comes on in his place wearing the 99 shirt. And İlkay Gundogan off, so double midfield. Yunus Akgün comes on, so two experienced players off, albeit slightly ageing now. Two slightly younger players on. Akgün 29, Lemina slightly older at 32. Lemina with a great career, 408 appearances now for all clubs: Marseille, Juventus, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Fulham and Southampton among them. As Jakir looks long down the left, and the ball rolls straight through for a throw into Kocaelispor halfway into their own territory. How will that change of midfield impact the game? Surprised not to see Manu Icardi coming on there, the 33-year-old. It's Kocaelispor's throw into the channel. It's a lovely ball actually, which is picked up by Dan Agi, who loses it, and it's cleared along. Galatasaray flick it on and win a throw-in right on the halfway line. Ball in the hands of the number 77, Noah Lang, in his bright yellow boots, but he's going to leave it to Ismail Jacobs, the left back, who had the assist in the first half to take. Jacobs throws the ball forward to Yilmaz, who brings it down with his knee before driving inside, beats his defender, goes to ground. No foul, says the referee, as the ball's lumped long and one back high up the field. Lang across, he finds Lemina, the substitute. Lemina out to Sane, the goal scorer. Back to Lemina again. Here's Sane, edge of the box, who clips one in, looking for the back post. Poor cross, headed away easily, only as far as Singo. He's able to drive forward and find Sada. Sada back to Ismail Jacobs, who will go all the way back to his goalkeeper, Gökhan Shakir, and Galatasaray recycle the ball and look to restart play from the back. This time they go down the right to Sane. He's got it under pressure and is able to find a ball back to Yunus Akgün, who will just drag across the central line before playing it across to Badaki, who goes back to Davinson Sanchez. Ball down the right to Sane again in space. Sane 45 yards from goal, but looks to drive forward as he plays a ball across, this time finding Lemina under pressure, but Lemina able to just shuffle the ball between his feet and find Sada. Back to Sanchez inside the centre circle. He's got Badaki out to his left for support, and Badaki's going to continue the movement to Noah Lang, who cuts inside onto his right boot. Lang driving forward, Lang with a shot, and just scuffs it wide of the left-hand post. 78 minutes gone. Galatasaray 1, Kocaelispor 1. Noah Lang, well, he did really well, used his strength, got a hand in the face as well, to sprint across the edge of the box. And just as it opened for him, he tried to find the narrow angle into the bottom left-hand corner, scuffs it, and it will be a goal kick to Kocaelispor, who play it long. 12 minutes plus stoppage time left of this one, as it looks like we are going to see a couple more changes, and Mauro Icardi is stripping down and getting ready to enter the field of play. As Kocaelispor come forward, lovely ball into Danegi, left hand side, AG across, finds Haidara. Haidara can't get it under control and it rolls through to Chakir once again. And here's a green strip with orange and almost pink on either side, and he plays it all the way back to his centre half, who was just in line with him. Here's Sanchez, down the right it goes to Singo. Singo forward to Akgün. Akgün again, can't quite get it under control. Now he can, and he can drive forward into space. Akgün finds the run of Baris Yilmaz. Yilmaz goes to ground on the edge of the box, screaming for a penalty, non-given, as the ball's on the right hand side, with Leroy Sané, who dances around, sends his defender to the ground, and that will be a free kick to Kocaelispor. But Baris Yilmaz very frustrated there. Lovely play forward from Yunus Akgün, and that free kick is very, very soft. Yilmaz, boy, he had a big shout for a free kick. I don't think a penalty would be given. He was just outside the box, but definitely contact on his ankle before the ball was played. You can see why Yilmaz is frustrated, as Mauro Icardi, the former Serie A top scorer 2017 to 2018 with Inter Milan, former PSG and Barcelona player, enters the field of play. And he'll slot in up front. You think they're going two up top here, Galatasaray, as they look to find their 4-point lead at the top of the table. Currently it stands at 2. This play can continue once again. The ball with the Galatasaray back line. Out to the right it goes. Wilfried Singo looks forward. Still with Singo. Ball through the line, looking for the on-rushing winger, who isn't going to be able to get there. And it will roll through 4. It's been given as a corner to Galatasaray, whose fans dancing around, just their third of the match. This one taken on the far side, the right. In it goes, in swinger, headed out, and it's Noah Lang who gets a foot to it, stabs it towards the goalkeeper. Good catch from Serhat Oztazdalen, who gets his 2 white gloves against the ball, brings it into his deep purple shirt, and he's able to throw it out to the left hand side as Kocaelispor look to come forward here. Dyke Steele has it on the left, he finds Habib Keita, back to Show, and they recycle the ball back to their centre half. Hervoye, Smolcic, and Habib Keita goes to ground off the ball there. Free kick given by the referee. So free kick inside their own half for Kocaelispor. And Leroy Sané goes over and he helps Keita back up to his feet, as this free kick will be taken. 8 minutes plus stoppage time left of this one. Ball down the right, flicked backwards off the head of a Galatasaray defender. Play stops for a free kick. Ismail Jacobs goes down holding his head. And that's as Sissoko goes through the back of him. Chakir forward, finds Lamina, back to Chakir again. Now Davinson Sanchez, the centre half, looking to play out from the back. Come the league leaders, who are being held by 8th placed Kocaelispor, who are looking to do the double over Galatasaray. A rare double, but Galatasaray win the ball high at the field. One back straight away though by Big Vol for Kocaelispor. Here's Show, finds a ball down the right to Sissoko, back to Bivgol, chipped forward down this right hand side. It's Bivgol driving forward, no one in the centre from to pass to, so he's forced to go backwards, but Bivgol does superbly well to keep the ball, flicks it back to Sissoko, who finds his captain Ugars. He chips the ball towards the centre of the park where Habib Keita can pick it up, and he's got an option out to his left. That's Hidara, who has it with his right foot, looks to cut inside. Hidara with a lovely ball in, who finds AG. AG with a shot off the right post. So close to a second for Kocaelispor, who still have it on the right-hand side with Sissoko. Sissoko's shot comes in straight into the arms of Gurcan Çakır. But AG there, well, he shot from the angle, could only find the inside of the right post, but it bounced away and out for the second chance, which was easily saved by the goalkeeper. The score after 84 minutes remains Galatasaray 1, Kocaelispor 1. Ball in the centre of the park with Noah Lang, who looks to drive forward. He's got an option out to his left. Instead goes inside to Lemina. Lemina across to Akgün. Akgün back to Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez turns and plays it back inside to Akgün. Akgün forward, clipped backwards, and this time off the chest of the captain Badaki. Badaki to Lang, left hand side, looks to cut inside onto his right foot, puts a lovely cross in towards the back post. Icardi goes down. He's holding his back. I don't think anything's going to be given. It's going to be a goal kick. That ball in from Noah Lang. He did well to beat his defender by cutting it onto his right boot. Lovely ball in, and I think there Icardi just ran into the back of his marker. That's exactly what he did. He pushed him over, in fact. It's never going to be a foul or a penalty. Just watching that chance again for AG, who just struck the right-hand post off his left foot. Lovely angle, drilled it hard, and it bounced away and out. And actually, Barış Yılmaz looks to be in some discomfort here, holding his back as he's back up onto his feet. Also down is Anthony Dijksteel, who's getting his leg stretched out for cramp. He's helped back onto his feet by the opposition goalkeeper, Çakır. And it was a lovely shot off the upright from Danny G. Really needed someone in the centre to strike home. No one in the box. And it was cleared eventually after the save from Çakır. Kocaelispor with the ball, with the goalkeeper. They're going to make two more changes. I think Darko Shuranov might be one of them. The ball rolls out for a throw-in to Galatasaray, who've had 68% of possession to 32 for Kocaelispor. 86 minutes gone, 4 minutes plus stoppage time left of this one. And Galatasaray still pushing for a winner. They play the ball forward to Lang, who's got it over on the left. He flicks one forward and receives it back again in motion, but gives away a free kick. I think it was actually Singo who was penalised, and now those substitutions will be made. Off will come Danegi, who scored the winner in the reverse fixture. Couldn't quite get one today, did hit the post a few moments ago. So he will make way for Darko Chulinov. So Chulinov on, the left winger from North Macedonia, 40 appearances for his country, 5 goals. And he'll come on late on to try and find a winner for the visitors, who flick the ball forward. It'll roll straight through to Davinson Sanchez, who can deal with that one and play it back to goalkeeper Çakır. Çakır gets things started quickly by playing a ball down the right-hand side into Sane. Sane just has to try and dance past his marker. No players to pass to, so has to go alone and loses out. But his teammate Mario Lemina there to pinch the ball straight back and clear it long. Kocaelispor defend that one quite easily and play a long ball forward down the right-hand side, which Çakır is alert to. Comes off his goal line and collects. Rolled out immediately to Akgün. Akgün to Lang. Lang cuts inside onto his right foot as he drives into the Kocaelispor half. Lang still with the ball as he plays it out to his right to Lemina. Lemina finds Sane, who scored the opener, the goal for Galatasaray. He looks to put a cross in off his left boot, but has to go backwards to Davinson Sanchez, formerly of Tottenham. Here's Lang to Sane again, formerly of Manchester City, who gives the ball away high up the field and creates an opening here for Kocaelispor. We've got an option down to their right-hand side and find it in Ahmet Oguz, who switches the play immediately out towards Chalinov, who can't bring it under control, and Igurchin Chikir can pump it up and long towards Sane, who brings it down with his instep, loses the ball. And once again, Kocaelispor can get things going as they look for a long ball forward straight into the arms of Chikir, and it feels like this game is just starting to peter out. Expect quite lengthy stoppage time, 4 or 5 minutes perhaps, as we tick over into the 89th minute. Here's Davinson Sanchez for Galatasaray, brings the ball forward with the ball to Ilmaz. Ilmaz looks for a ball through the lines towards Akgun, who pulls down his marker. It will be a free kick to Kocaelispor just inside their own 6-yard box. And Galatasaray, since making those changes in midfield, they brought off Gundogan, they brought off Torreira and brought on Lamina and Akgun. They just haven't had the same quality of ball forward. They haven't created the same number of chances. And it feels like this game will just peter out into a 1-1 unless either team can do something about it. 30 seconds left of the 90. Stoppage time to follow. The ball's flipped forward to Lamina, who finds Akgun, who can't control it. And Kocaelispor have it again with Dijksteel. Dijksteel across to Smolic, who finds Oguz, who piles forward and looks to drive, but loses the ball that time to Akgun, who twists and turns and finds Singo. He's under pressure, but is able to play a lovely ball across to Jacobs, switching the play before Jacobs plays it back inside to Badaki, the captain, inside his own half. Still with Badaki, 5 minutes of stoppage time to be played. The 90 are up. Here is Badaki, edging into the Kocaelispor half, across to Sanchez, who edges forward and plays a lovely ball in towards Icardi, who can't bring it under control. And Kocaelispor could attack here, could they? No, they can't. They lose the ball to Lamina, who spreads it to the right-hand side to Leroy Sane. Sane onto his left boot, crosses one in towards the back post, headed down by Icardi, straight into the gloves of Serhat Oztazdalen, who holds his quad. He seems to be in some pain. Goes down. I think he might have been stamped on there, the goalkeeper. He rolls the ball out to allow a stoppage, and the fourth official points down to his watch and says, we'll just add this time on again. Play paused. Oztazdalen is down. He's been helped back up onto his feet by the referee. Mauro Icardi screams at him to say that time can't be wasted. But Serhat Oztazdalen, well, he's done well to get back onto his feet and to allow play to continue as Galatasaray play the ball straight to him from the throw-in. Mauro Icardi tried to be clever, playing it hard at his feet to try and pick up the scraps, but the goalkeeper alert to it. And 1 minute of the additional 5 has been played as Kocaelispor lump it long towards Petkovic, who flicks it on. Chance here, but the goalkeeper alerts Igurchin Chikir off his line. Picks it up with his gloves and rolls it straight out to Sanchez, right-hand side. He turns and finds Singo. Singo back to Sanchez, deep inside his own half. Picks it up with his right boot and looks to edge towards the opposition half, the attacking half. He plays a ball forward towards Lamina, who flicks it straight back to Badaki. Badaki across to Sanchez again, and Galatasaray, since making those midfield changes, haven't been able to get the ball into their strikers. They might do here though with Sane, who flicks it forward to Ilmaz right hand side. Ilmaz with a cross in straight off the leg of Ahmet Oguz, the captain and right back for Kocaelispor, who puts it out of play for just the fourth corner for Galatasaray of the match. Over on the right hand side, I think it's Ilmaz over it. He's got 6 shirts of his teammates in the centre. Can he find Icardi? He can, but Icardi's header poor and straight out for a goal kick. 92.5 minutes gone of the 95, 1-1. And another Kocaelispor player down with cramp. While Galatasaray's lead at the top down to just 2 points. They started the weekend 4 points clear, but now it's just 2 with 5 matches to play. The Turkish Super League title hangs in the balance. There's 93 minutes of the 95 now up, and it will be a goal kick for Serhat Oztazdalen, who slows the tempo of the game down again. You feel Kocaelispor, quite rightly, will take a point here. Played long, won back by, well, Lamina, who overhead kicks the ball back into the attacking half. Here is A flicked-on header by Akgün, which falls straight to Kocaelispor, who clear long and can only knock it out of play for a throw into Galatasaray over on the right-hand side with a minute 40 left of this one. Akgün again, back he goes to Badaki. Badaki edging forward, he's got options to his left and right, but Badaki goes alone. Still with him, the captain, who now cuts inside and finds Singo. Across to Lemina. Lemina finds Ilmaz over on the right. Exchanges a 1-2 with Icardi. Here's Sane driving across and finding Akgün. Akgün from range. Can't quite find the bottom left-hand corner. Nice effort, dipped well. Goalkeeper Öztaşdelen, you feel, probably would have got there. He looked for the far corner, just sliced the ball slightly, and wide of the left-hand post it goes. And after 94 minutes, with just a minute to play, it's Galatasaray 1, Kocaelispor 1, goal kick for Serhat Öztaşdelen, and he'll take as much of this remaining minute as he can before he pumps it long. Öztaşdelen eventually strolls up and strikes the ball into the Galatasaray half. Flicked header comes down and it's stabbed up into the sky by Petkovic, who will knock it out for a throw-in for Galatasaray inside the final third, and they play a ball back into the Kocaelispor half. Here's Icardi with space, looks to find Ilmaz, poor touch, and Kocaelispor clear again. And with 20 seconds to go, Galatasaray have to get the ball forward quickly, and as they do that, Kocaelispor, well, they just keep lumping it long. This time they bring it down though. Akgün goes to ground, no free kick, says the referee, and Kocaelispor, well, they look to come the other way, but Galatasaray win it back for a throw-in, which is picked up by Jacobs. Forward it goes to Noah Lang. Lang looking for the run of Lemina, who's got it on the left. He cuts a ball inside, but he can't quite control it, and it goes for a throw-in to Kocaelispor. 95 minutes are up. The referee glances at his watch. Galatasaray, well, they look like they were going to get 3 points for most of this one. Leroy Sané's goal in the first half, but Kocaelispor continued to battle. They needed one chance. They scored from that chance. Petkovic got it on the hour mark. And with a moment and a matter of seconds left of this one, the visitors will be pleased. There is the final whistle. A well-earned point for Kocaelispor. Galatasaray dropped 2 in their battle for the league title. 1-0 at half-time. Lovely ball in from Ismail Jacobs from the left. Found the head of Leroy Sané, who put it past Öztaşdelen into the bottom left-hand corner of the net. That was half-time. 1-0 to Galatasaray. And into the second, well, they just looked flat. They didn't quite have the attacking answers they've had all season long. Kocaelispor, they needed one chance. The ball bobbling around on the edge of the 6-yard box. Petkovic stabbed the right boot through it, found the bottom corner and brought parity. And that's how this one ended. Nearly, Kocaelispor stole it. Stanagi hitting the right upright late on before he was substituted, but nothing coming of it. And at full time, it's Galatasaray 1, Kocaelispor 1. Galatasaray's lead at the top this weekend cut to just 2 points.